Hello everyone, Deb Floros for Jesse James Beads. I'm working with the Rainbow Water Ice Market Fresh Mini Mix. This is an unbelievable, joyful mix of beads and goodies. I'm gonna dump this out. Look at all this deliciousness. Oh my goodness, there's spacers, there's some sparkle, there's tassels. So I'm gonna pull out some star spacers. These are also available at Jesse James Beads. They're gold, and I'm gonna use those as my primary spacer. So this is going to be a pretty much gold-centric piece, but I'm adding so many colorful and fun beads. Now, making an anklet for me, I like to kind of string on beads and see how they all look together, decide how my focal's going to look, and then I worry about my measurements. So I'm putting on a bead, a spacer, a bead, a spacer, and trying to get all of those beautiful colors represented in this anklet. Oh my gosh, they look so good together. I love all the colorful beads, the different textures. They're so much fun. Now, I've been crazy about tassels lately, so I'm putting on all the tassels from this mini mix. I'm alternating the colors, and there's 6 of them in total, 2 of each color. And what I want it to do is create like a little poof that will be at the center of my anklet. So this will be the part that faces out to the world, and they say, "Hey, what is that on your ankle? That's so cool." So I'm going to continue on with the same pattern from my focal point. I'm very happy with how this looks from here. So I'm just going to string on the same beads in that pattern, and then I'm going to pay attention to measurement. So you can use a tape measure, but always make sure that you put a finger like when you wrap it around, put that finger before you pull tight that measuring tape. You can also use a string and put that up against your measuring tape to get your length. Now, the finger in the space that you're using with your measuring tape or your piece of string is meant to give you a little bit of slack. Anklets, you need to be very careful because your foot moves differently than a wrist. And even though this is very much like a bracelet design, you do want to be careful that you don't make this too tight. So always give yourself some slack and you should be fine. I like to think of anklets as kind of a loose bracelet around my ankle. So I do a little bit of measuring to make sure it's just right, and I may even try it on with my bead stoppers. Now I'm going to create my closure, and I'm just going to do a simple lobster claw. Now at one end, I'm using some French wire and a crimp tube, and I'm creating a little bit of a loop. At the other end, I'm using a crimp tube, some French wire, and sliding on my lobster claw, and making sure that the lobster claw goes over that French wire and makes another loop to hold my lobster claw. I'm going back down through a couple of the beads, and I'm pulling that tight, and then I'm crimping my crimp tube to make sure I've got a secure bracelet or anklet, and I'm making sure that I add a little bit of flair to the other side by using that beautiful star charm that's included in this mini mix. So you'll want to make sure that your anklet is the right size. The average anklet size is about 9 inches. You can add an extender chain if you'd like. You can find this mix and the spacer beads at jessejamesbeads.com. I hope you'll give this fun project a try. This is a really spectacular one. I love how it came out. Thank you so much for watching.